I'm trying to demonstrate to you my stuff.
Greetings, Earthlings. It's August 1st, 2024, also known as the release day for my first ever poetry book. If you don't know, I write poetry. I've always written poetry. I started in elementary school, middle school, and progressed from there. This poetry collection is featuring some of the poems that I've written the past decade, mostly in my 20s when true inspiration strikes. And I've specifically curated this collection to revolve around the theme of travel. The book is called Tumbleweeds. Let me pull one out. The book is called Tumbleweeds, and it is, let me just read you the back. That's the perfect way to describe it, huh? Tumbleweeds is a poetry book meant to throw in your suitcase. It's about falling in love with adventure, with nature, with yourself. How do we grow from travel? How does travel deepen our connection to the natural world? And what can that connection teach us about ourselves? Whether you're planning a trip, living on the road, or just a rambling soul, this book is the perfect travel companion. And that is how I wrote it. I wrote it to be my travel companion. As you know, I like to do a lot of traveling, and I have two poetry books in particular that I like to travel with. I have my Pablo Nerada. This one in particular is called Seaquake. It is ocean beach based poem, so I like to take that one on any beach vacation. And then I have this Hermann Hesse, which I love this book because every page is one half is in German and one half is translated into English. I got both of these books, I believe at thrift shops in California. But I love those books. I love how small they are and light, and you literally something that you can throw in your suitcase, backpack, purse, beach bag, whatever, light enough to take on the plane with you. So that's how I like to read poetry books. This is my baby. This is something that I would want to read, and I probably will read and take with me on vacations because I love these poems. I love to read them, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to share them. I reread them all the time. They make me smile and they make me think about experiences that I've had, and I wanted to share that with other people, especially people that maybe follow this YouTube channel, people that also like to travel, people that are also on the road a lot, or maybe you don't like to travel. Maybe that's why you're on my YouTube, because you're living vicariously through me. This book is for you too, because this book captures what it feels like, what one of my videos feels like. What the things in my videos can't say is how I feel. I guess if I'm vlogging, I can say how I feel, but maybe not so poetically. So I'm really excited. This has been a long time coming. I've been obviously writing these poems for, like I said, over a decade, but I've been focused on having a poetry book, a collection, for a few years now. Maybe really sitting down to grind out exactly what I want it to look like for the past 2 years, and then the last year is really focusing on getting it in my hands, and it's in my hands. This looks huge. This is 6 copies. So excited. They're so beautiful. So I did self-publish these. As far as I know, if you're an unknown writer, the only way to get anything in somebody's hands is to self-publish. So I did self-publish these through a company called ingramspark, and I will tell you a little bit about my experience with them, but just to sum it up, I'm totally satisfied. I am just so happy to finally have this in my hands. I'm a poet, but to be an author, to have my name on the cover, and especially to have my name on the inside, oh, it feels so good. I've had poems printed, with magazines or in papers or whatever, and to have my name where it says poet is just, it feels great. But to have the book in my hands is just so awesome. The Tumbleweeds is definitely just the first one, because I kind of split my poems between ones that had to do with traveling and ones that didn't. So you should definitely expect another book within the next couple of years. I'm going to take a little break right now, just focus on other things, and then I'll get back into curating the next one. I ended up printing out 5 of them, and with ingramspark you can get them printed out for just the printing price and not have the proof line on it. So that's like a really good draw to using ingramspark. I wanted to be able to print them myself because like my ultimate dream is to, since I travel so much, I see those little libraries everywhere and I just want to slip these in all over the country. I'm not in this to make money. I'm in this to share my art. So what I really want is to spread my art, and I thought those little libraries would just be the perfect opportunity. So far I have 5, well, I guess 4, because one of them's to give away to someone. Overall, my experience with using ingramspark was really smooth. Right now, they don't have any fee for submitting a book, so that was totally free. All I really had to pay for were like the legal things that you need to get a book done and the ISBN number. Those are the only real things that I had to pay for, I think. I also paid Canva for their artwork. It's basically like clip art, but I paid a trial so that I could get this clip art, and I made the cover myself, which I don't know if I'd recommend it. It was definitely the frugal way to go, but it is a little pixelated. I don't know if you can see. I mean, it looks great on camera. It looks great in person. I honestly don't care. I don't judge a book by its cover. It's honestly what mattered to me is what the inside looked like, and the inside is flawless on all of them. So it is my bad that the cover is pixelated because obviously I didn't do the formatting right, and I don't care that much. Obviously I care about my product and what people get, but if you care about what a cover of a poetry book looks like that you're meant to have on a hiking trail with you or at the beach, I don't know if you're the kind of person who wants to read it anyways. But as far as all of the books that I've ordered go, they are all flawless on the inside. There are minor, very minor issues, maybe not with this one, with the covers. Like this one has like a little bit, it was like cut off. I don't know if you can see that at all. Maybe you can. It's just not like cut perfectly. And then the first one that I got, it's not my baby because you're the first one I saw. It was on my porch for 3 days in the rain as well. So that's how I treat my babies. This one was cut so that there's like a little bit of white trim here. So I think they have issues with how they cut their covers. I know that some people have issues with their books being printed upside down, or just like, my book isn't long enough to have a spine, but sometimes the spines can be off. But if you care about that, maybe go with a different company, or make sure that you're hiring somebody who knows what they're doing with covers. Or if you don't care about that, then I think ingramspark's the way to go for you, because the inside is flawless. It's beautiful, except for one thing. I typed up this whole book on ingramspark on their software that they provide for you to make your book yourself if you don't have a file from like Microsoft Word. I don't have Microsoft Word, I'm not paying for that. I have Google Docs, and I don't know how to convert files. I don't know, whatever. So I just went on ingramspark and I just typed it all myself. And did that take some time? Yeah, but their software was really easy for me to use. People say it's not user-friendly. I've never used it in my life, and I typed a whole book, and it looks fantastic. The only issue that I had, which they might have resolved, because today on August 1st, ingramspark, they said that they were launching a new software. They were fixing all the bugs or whatever. So maybe this wouldn't be an issue anymore. I'll see when I do my next book. But you can choose what layout you want for your book, and it comes with certain fonts. And I loved this font. I forget which layout this was, but you'll know it because it's very distinct for the one thing that I don't like, and I couldn't figure out how to get rid of it, even though one person said online that you can get rid of it, but I couldn't figure it out. And honestly, whatever, I'll just get over it. This right here. This little symbol that's underneath tumbleweeds on the second title page. The first title page looks great, but the second title page, Just that little symbol. It's nowhere else in the book, but I hate it. I hate that little symbol. And that's our secret, and it can stay between you and me that I hate that little symbol. But I'll get over it. Maybe I'll come to love it. Maybe it'll grow on me. Anyways, there were other layouts that I was thinking about using, but there was always a problem. There was always a font that I didn't like, or a black bar across the table of contents page that I didn't know how to work. So as far as user-friendly goes, maybe I just couldn't figure out that part. But everything else turned out fantastic. Fantastic, my little about the author page. It's real, and it's here. It's in my hands, and if you want to get one, the link will be down below. And if you support me, thank you. And thanks for being here with me for all my travels. You can see how I put my travels into poetry when you get tumbleweeds. Also, if you're getting a black cover, just know if you get it in matte, you're gonna see every freaking fingerprint, which, I mean, once again, cover, don't really care that much. But if you're the kind of person who would care, don't get matte, get glossy. In my mind, once I got the first one, I was like, good enough. I'm not gonna fix it now. I don't care, I wanna be done with this. Honestly, after this whole process, I'm like sick of all of these poems. Like the last read through that I had with my wife, I made her read them out loud just to make sure that there's no flaws, edit them together. I was like, oh babe, I'm exhausted of hearing these poems. Like, I don't wanna read them for another year or two. But I hope you do.